Okay. God damn it, I'm so mad! Well, this is unfortunate. So I stopped the stream so that way I could mess around with the display settings to try and fix it so it was encoding better, and it did not work. And now I've closed the game because it's not going to let me play the game. Which I don't understand why that game wasn't working. So, what am I even doing? We're going to say just chatting. Okay, so this is unfortunate. If I do this, can you... Oh, it was there for a moment, now it's gone again. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to look at you anyway. Gosh darn it, I'm so mad. Oh! I was like, oh, I don't need to check. I wasn't expecting it to have such issues with that. Oh, this is what I get for not being good at streaming. Okay, well, I guess we'll just sit and chat for a while then. You know what? We're just gonna put royalty free music. We'll just we'll throw some yeah, I'm still learning, but I'm still upset about it. Everything was going fine. There, now we've got some background music, so it's not quite so... Oh, except I don't like this background music. Hold on. Ooh. That was weird. Go back. Let's find something else. Synthwave. Ooh, medieval fantasy. Yeah. Okay. Like... Alright, we're just gonna sit and chat for a while. So this is upsetting. I was really looking forward to playing that game, but now I'm not going to be able to. So, oh, this medieval fantasy, we're going on an adventure. Hopefully it's not too loud. So yeah, I don't have another game lined up. Like that was going to be the easiest one that we could play. I mean, I have some other games that we could play, but that was the one I wanted to play. All right, let's I have a second one, so let's pull that up real quick. Oh, you're thinking of playing Sims 3. See, that's fun. I was playing Sims 4 for a while, but apparently the sound doesn't record. Or I was doing something wrong there. Either way. I am more inclined to blame the game. Like, for instance, today, I'm going to blame the game. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you, Ashley. Okay, so I'm going to apparently look at the requirements for see, because I've not had any issues. I was using a different stream lab. I was using I was using Streamlabs. I was using a different streaming studio. So I switched back to OBS. This might be gobbledygook, but I switched back to OBS because I'm more used to using that. Core i3, NVIDIA GeForce 260. I should be able to. That's the minimum, though. What's it? An Core i5. Yeah, I've got that. We might have to adjust the settings, but what do you got to tell me? Should I wait, or do you want me to say this on stream? Gotcha. I've got another green candle left. Okay, so we're downloading another game. Who knows if we're actually going to play it tonight? The only reason... So, I'll tell you a little bit about this. I am very glad for you. Absolutely for real. I just don't know if you want me to say all of that, because I am recording. So this will be posted on... Well, maybe... it might not be posted on YouTube. I might... Actually, it depends on what happens. But just in case, I'm not going to say that out loud. But, yes. Okay, so the other game that I'm looking at... the other game that I'm looking at is called Soma. Which is a much more spooky game. Well, I guess not spooky. It's not like scary, although, it's more like philosophical. Yeah. Okay, so the tags say philosophical, story-rich, adventure, atmospheric, stuff like that. Like, I've seen a little bit of the beginning of it, but not how it ends. But I know that it's a really good game. All of the reviews for it are overwhelmingly positive. Okay, it's not really spooky, more like psychological, where it really gets in your head, and it's got like some mystery stuff. But I also know that there's a few parts that are underwater and it's really dark, and that it freaks me out a little bit. So it's a little bit on the spooky side in that regards. It's on my list of games to play. The only reason I was putting it off was, first off, because I really wanted to play the game today. Then that didn't happen. But second off, because this one is longer. So, like, we'll play for a few hours and then have to decide when we're going to, like, stop. Because I think it's, like, an 8-hour game or something, like 6 or 8 hours. And there's no possible way that I'm going to be playing all of that when I have work in the morning. Like, that's not going to happen. So I'd play, like, a couple of hours of it today, and then continue it next week, and then maybe have to finish it the week after that. Which is why I was kind of putting it off, just because I wasn't prepared for a 2-part. So I have it downloading right now. I have it installing. So we'll see if it loads quick enough. But we're just gonna sit and chat. Right now it's literally just you and I, Ash. Yeah, the universe has decided. I just wasn't going to play Laura's story today, and you know what? That's fine. I'll look into what I can do to get the encoding to go a bit faster. But see, that's also why I'm worried about this game, because this game is like more involved, and if a really simple game is going to have everything go crazy, what's this one going to do? Oh no. See, I bought the soundtrack for it and everything. That's upsetting. Does it say what the requirements are? It just says the minimum is a Windows 710. I'm like, excuse you. I have that. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that there are a lot of listings for barista jobs, especially at Starbucks in our area. Especially since I've been helping a few ex-coworkers, friends, but ex-coworkers through some issues that they're still having. Yeah, no. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to be there. Like how it wants me to leave a review. I'm not leaving a review for a game that I wasn't able to play. See, I can't wait until I get to play Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. That one is going to be a fun one. I don't know most of the people at my old store, so... Which is funny considering I've only been gone for like 3 weeks. And the people that I like there are also on their way out without, naming anyone. I had to help someone call the ethics fun line. Yeah, funny that, right? I don't know. It's good to not be there anymore. For anyone watching this on YouTube, I used to work at Starbucks very recently. I only left there a month ago. And for anyone who's wanting to have a job for a period of time, should maybe not. Yeah. Yeah, well, with the way of the world currently, it's not necessarily a great place to work, to put it mildly. Yeah. See, I guess I could just, hold on. We're gonna change things on the fly. Change things on the fly. Oh no, we're gonna not change things on the fly. Put it back. Ha 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 ha. You see things moving? I could put things up on this screen. I could put things up on the screen. It'd be funny. I'm not going to, but I could. Like for instance, I have something hidden. Well, yeah, nobody wants to work in the food and bev industry right now. Like after this past year, everything has been insane. At least it's not lagging as I'm downloading a brand new game. That I know it's something to do with either my stream setup or my computer. I don't know what it is. I'll fix it later. It's something for later. The music isn't too loud, right? I just have noise canceling headphones, so I can't hear myself speaking half the time. Oh, we're halfway downloaded. That is amazing. It says 5 minutes remaining, but then it's still going to have to finish installing. So that's just downloading. I did make an exception to my no customer service jobs rule to apply to a plant nursery. Well, does that count? You're going to be taking care of plants and helping people learn about plants. You can't hear the music at all. Can you hear the music now? Okay. Sorry, I kept turning it down because it was loud in my ears when I should have just been turning my ears down. I was like, if it's loud to me, it must be loud to you. Yeah, but no. Okay, well, if somebody tries to return an aloe vera that they killed, it depends on when they bought it, doesn't it? Look, see, I tried to do a thing, right? I tried to do a thing. Connecting to chat. I want to see if it'll work. No, it doesn't. Ha! There you are. Oh, that's what it meant by refresh. No, I don't want to refresh every time. Hold on. Okay, well, it just exists now. But look, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. But you see, that's why I thought it was I thought it was Eric. So, now you're up on the screen too. Be careful of what you say. You're being recorded. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have a long-haired cat. That's how it is with Lois all the time. I have to say, I'm loving working from home now because I just get cat in lap and I'm just like, yes, cat in lap. It's always really nice when I'm like taking a call and somebody I'm taking a call and somebody is like, blah, 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 and I'm just like, yes, my precious, my precious. Oh yeah, I can definitely help you with your account. My precious. But I was saying at the beginning not to get too used to what my background is looking like. First off, because I'm going to be putting up some background decorations, as a certain somebody happens to know. Oh, my cats love that I'm home all the time. Like, straight up, they love that I'm home all the time. Anyway, I was saying that not to get too used to what the background looks like right now, because I'm rearranging my desk. So the camera is probably going to be off in a different direction. Maybe over here. Maybe I'll put the camera here. And it'll be facing me here. That'd be interesting. You'd see a lot more of my wall, though. A lot more of my closet door, which you aren't currently seeing right now. So I'm right next to the closet. I escaped it, but I didn't go far. Man, I could play Kingdom, I guess. I've already beat it. I beat Kingdom and Kingdom New Lands. Yeah, it's a bit delayed. It just is what it is. Because the thing is, it's delayed on two ends. Because you're getting delayed because you're watching, so like I'm broadcasting, it's sending to you, it's connecting through the internet to yours, it's loading in, you're seeing it, then you're reacting, you're responding, you're typing a response, the response is sent back to me. So it's like, it's double delayed because of that. But yeah, so now you can, you'll know what part of your monologue I'm at monologuing about. I could do that. That would be fun. I don't have a tab. Well, I have. Technically, it's a hanging blanket that I could put up. I don't know if that's the one that I want to do, though. Maybe I'll do something that's like this watercolor thing. Because, like, my background on here is this, like, cool watercolor stars, purple and such. Oh, Soma has finished downloading. Now it's configuring. Give it a moment. That could also be fun. I saw a cool one of the Moon Tarot card. Ooh. Hold that thought. Okay, we're not lagging. Hold that thought. No shift. Oh, we are lagging. Oh no! Okay. If it starts looking really bad, let me know. Why do you keep Why are you over here? Window shift? Right. Stay over there. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, no. Encoding error. Alright, I'm not looking at chat. Give me one moment.
Simple tax returns only. Snap your W-2 and file Fed and state for free. Guaranteed.
Advertisements. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're just gonna look over here now. It's just gonna be chatting. We're just gonna be chatting. That game also was not working right now, so I'm probably need to update my computer. I know I need to change out the graphics card, which is a little bit upsetting because I just got this computer, but I also knew that when getting this computer, pardon, There we go. I also knew that when getting this computer, I was purposely just looking for something kind of utilitarian that I could fix up a bit myself. So I'm going to have to get a new graphics card and possibly a few other things, so we'll see. Okay, well that's fine. I'll figure out something else to do next week. I'll get it settled. And we'll see, maybe this could be the end of my streaming career, cut short so quickly. Well, listen, I got the best for my money, yes. I'm kidding. Meow. Okay. Alright, so let me catch up on what you were saying. Okay. So, were you capable of applying to those positions? If I put this onto YouTube, which I'm not sure that I will, I would like to address this for a second. So here in the chat, we're talking about ABA therapy, which was literally developed by the same man who developed gay conversion therapy. Let that sink in a moment. ABA therapy, which is applied behavioral... I didn't come prepared. Apologies. I've forgotten the acronyms. I've done a lot of acronyms today. Okay. What is it? Applied behavioral... I've forgotten what ABA stands for. Doesn't matter. It stands for hate and abuse because it is the only form of treatment that insurance covers, that most insurances cover for autism. Treatment for autism. Which, for anyone who doesn't know, I have 3 subscribers, and at least 2 of them knows. We'll see. I'm autistic. Yeah, so applied behavioral analysis. Yeah, there we go. So it is a subject that touches home. I myself was never in ABA therapy simply because I went undiagnosed with autism for my entire childhood and adolescence and into my early adulthood until just a couple of years ago. So I scraped by on being able to pretend to fit in with everyone else, masking and so on. Yeah, not all of it is covered by insurances, but it's the only treatment that is covered by some insurances. There's no other treatment for autism that is widely renowned enough. What it is, it's literally just training autistic children to pretend they're not autistic, to like blend in and fit in with everyone, which is incredibly harmful. It is literally emotional and verbal abuse, plus sometimes a lot of physical abuse too. Because you're making these children like actually uncomfortable, like actually deeply uncomfortable with everything that's going on around them, and told them this is how you're supposed to be. And it's like, nah. So yeah, really big deal that is still so widely accepted, because, you know, we don't believe in the torture of any type of person. But especially for people who are already susceptible to emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, toxic situations, just general emotional overwhelming, and various other, it's just, yeah, it's not a great thing. It's a really bad thing. And like, yeah, so both as an autistic person myself and knowing what it feels like to grow up and like it as I'm autistic. So growing up autistic, I know what that's like. I know you're on the fence about it still too, Ashley, but you know what it's like too. You know what it's like too. You're still on the fence, and that's okay, but just gonna say, you know what it's like too. But anyway, yeah, so as someone who is autistic myself and knows what it's like to be an autistic child, trying to fit in, because that's what I'm being told, and also as a human rights activist myself, in all aspects of that, save the children, please. Don't put your child in ABA therapy. There's so many other things that you can do. Accommodate your children's needs. Don't force them to suppress their needs, because they are needs. And yeah, it can set them up for a lot of really negative experiences, both as children and as adults later on. Because, newsflash for anybody who's not aware, but autistic children grow up to be autistic adults. Evidence! But yeah, so. $100. Yep, even undiagnosed autistic people know what it's like to face shame and abuse for being weird and different and displaying incorrect behaviors. I know I don't talk about it a lot, but I was bullied for a good portion of my childhood. I just wasn't always aware that I was being bullied. But like looking back on it, it's like, oh yeah, no, oh yeah. Yep. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's one of those like not understanding social cues thing. Because like I thought it was just like either I was hanging out with some people or like they just didn't want to hang out with me for like, whatever reason. I didn't realize that it was no, they were actively being nasty. They were actively being mean. Because I was just like, oh, okay. And taking it all at face value. I don't know. But it didn't affect me too much, only because I moved around constantly, which had its own issues. I mean, which is probably why I'm so used to the need to move around now. Like, I'm so used to being like, okay, we've lived here for a year, time to pack up and go. And I've lived here for going on 3 years, and it's like, are we ready to go? And it's just me. And it's like, no, we're staying here. I'm allowed to settle in. It's just hard to conceptualize something that I'm not used to. But, yeah. I never imagined that I would do a just chatting stream. This is fun. I mean, it's really weird, but it's fun. I mean, we're talking about heavy subjects and all of that, but that's my favorite. I love talking about heavy subjects. Anything where I can be passionate about, I can educate people on, or, any of that stuff. Those are my kinds of things. It's my special interest. Is educating others. I'm glad to have you here, Ashley. Sorry that it's not quite what it was supposed to be, but that's fine. It gives you time that you can watch my playthrough of A Normal Lost Phone if you want to. You don't have to. But I do really love that game. I have played it already, and it is the first of what is technically the sequel. So anyway. Okay. ADHD and autism are your primary hyperfixations at the moment. I will happily ask you anything about it. What do you say, in your opinion, from your research, is the biggest difference between ADHD and autism? Because we know that both autism and ADHD have varying symptoms, varying traits, varying effects on the person because of those conditions. So, like how there is hyperactive and inattentive versions of ADHD. Found both in males and females, and men and women. How socially accepted they are. In what regards? I'll give you a moment to type. I'm going to keep talking about it though. Autism, of course, is a spectrum, but it's more like a big old color wheel, and you have like some of this color, and less of such and such color. So like I am particularly verbal. I frequently use words as my medium of expression. But there are times, particularly when I get overwhelmed, which where I'll stop. And it's not like I'm incapable of speaking, it's that suddenly speaking takes like 10 times as much effort, and sometimes I just don't want to put that effort in. So like if I'm asked a direct question, I will force out an answer, usually a short one, and it's usually done in what I have been told is like a bit of a robot voice. It's very monotone, very formal wordage, I suppose. But yeah, so I will still respond. I have recently been getting a lot into doing ASL. Not very well. I'm not very good at it yet, but I have learned a few signs. It helps that I have a few people around me that know either a little bit of sign, or I do have one friend who is very fluent in ASL. So it helped when I was working with her that I could just like sign at her and we would be able to have a silent conversation. So that was always nice. Same, if I'm uncomfortable, I get monotonous and may have to just remove myself from the interaction altogether. Yeah, I check out from, I try not to check out from conversations, but I'll check out from situations. Like, it's like, if I'm at a social gathering or whatever, and it's like, okay, I am done with people today, and it's just like, I'm just gonna go and find a spot off next to a wall, sit down, just like phone. I'm just gonna zone out for a bit. I'm an ambivert. I'm not overly extroverted nor overly introverted. I am a very happy medium. Because I can be very peppy and happy and talkative and meeting new people and enjoying it and getting to know people and all that. While other times I don't want to. It's like, no, thank you. I do not feel up to social interaction today. I am going to put my earbuds in and ignore you. And that's just how it's going to be. And, you know, that's just how that is. You have no idea how many TikToks I have thought about making about, like, executive dysfunction, about autism, about various traits, about, like, social interaction. How many that I have, like, thought about making, started to make, maybe have a couple saved in my drafts, and then was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling this, bye. What you said a minute ago, I'm beginning to think that ADHD and autism are part of the same color wheel that you've described. Yes. There's so much overlap. That you've described. I think in general that people diagnosed with ADHD don't have as much of the social delays that people diagnosed with autism do. Yes, I can agree with that. I know that there are some social issues, or that's a weird way of putting it. There are some social interaction faux pas that is associated with ADHD. Compared to the neurotypicals and all of that. I'm also beginning to think that introversion is a learned trait in a lot of neurodivergent people, learned in response to traumatic situations. I mean, yeah. Like, just, yeah. Like, shy kids being introverted, like, that's just, you know, that's being cautious of other people kind of thing, you know? It's a social thing. But yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that. I don't know very many introverts who aren't somehow not neurotypical, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm playing with my sim toy under the desk, trying not to make any noise. So don't mind me. Popping bubbles. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, no, I definitely think that there is plenty of overlap between ADHD and autism. Like, I mean, it's literally been researched. There are plenty of peer-reviewed studies and so on and so forth. Yeah, but mine's a what is it? Octagon? Octagon. Mine's an octagon. So, you know. Rainbow octagon. Well, it's not quite a rainbow because it is missing the red. So, that's a little bit upsetting. And the purple is very light. So it's not quite a rainbow. I had to stop and count the sides because I couldn't remember if it was a hexagon or an octagon. And I was like, I need to get a quieter one so that way I can play with it while I'm working. Anyway, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the similarities between ADHD and autism and how that it's been peer-reviewed and studied that there is a lot of overlap between them and a lot of comorbidity and all of that, where if you have one, you're definitely more likely to have the other. Mostly because a lot of, like, basically all of the ADHD traits can also be autistic traits. Like what's the difference between hyperfocus and like hyperfixations and special interests? Like those are the same thing. So like the hyperfocus and all of that, short-term memory working for you. Yeah, short-term working memory. Who's she? Never heard of her. Train of thought is an A-lister. Roombas of thought. Yeah, basically. It bumps into a wall and then changes direction and then forgets where it was previously. It's like, excuse you, I don't have a train track of thought. Like, it's not a single train of thought. It's like a branching network. It's kind of like a spider web of trains, and they're all going different speeds and different directions, and a couple of them are about to collide into each other, and there might be a serious accident. And you know what? I can't look away from that train wreck, so I'm just going to focus on that for a little bit, because I'm going to ignore the three that are falling around behind me. Because, oh, that one just fell off the tracks, but we're not looking at that one because we're looking at the train crash. Yeah, they're all over the place. It's like flying trains. They don't have tracks. See, I got, like, okay, it's lemonade, but it's water. It's technically water. It's water with a packet of lemonade in it, so I'm being good. And I got it because I had planned to be playing a game that had a lot of reading, so it was going to be me talking the entire time, and instead I'm just talking the entire time. Experimental hover cars of thought. Yeah. I'll drink to that. See, I could hop into Minecraft, but I bet you that's gonna slow things down too. Actually, why have I not? Oh, because it's not closing. Huh. Soma is not closing. The tab is still open. It won't let me close. Okay. Oh yeah, no, Minecraft is totally going to crash everything. Like, Minecraft takes some serious oomph. What if you got those little Mio sweetener things so they're sugar-free? It's sugar-free lemonade! It's sugar-free lemonade! I found one that doesn't taste like aspartame. So I'm happy. Still have the flavor and are hydrating. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. Plus there's nutrient water in here as well. Yeah, Soma is not closing. Like, I keep the X, close window. No, it just exists now. I'm going to have to close it off stream later. I mean, I know that it's a game about, like, AI and robots and such, so, you know, maybe it's just infected my computer now and the AIs are coming. I'm always nice to my Google Assistant, so hopefully they don't kill me. If there's ever an artificial intelligent uprising and the robots come to take over, first off, I'm all for it. You know, humans haven't necessarily taken very good care of our planet, so you know what? Control Alt Delete. No, because that goes into Task Manager, and I don't want to do that. I would have to open the game. Like, it's minimized, but it won't dismiss. It wants me to accept the gamma. Are you going to give me gamma rays? Yeah, see, as soon as I do it, oh my gosh! Ah! Okay, there we go. We're going to deal with that later. Yeah, I'm enjoying this music so far. I literally just looked up royalty free, and the first one that came up. Medieval fantasy music, Sword of Destiny, epic, emotional, instrumental. Oh, it's from November, so it's not that old either. I sometimes listen to a lot of, like, background music, especially if I'm, like, I don't know. Oh, hello, sorry. I forgot that there was a camera there. Well, see, I was all ready to play a game. Now I'm a little bit sad because my game wouldn't play. I'm a lot a bit sad. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, next subject. Let's move on to our next chat. Honestly, if anybody were to come in to try and watch this, like, it's wild. Ash, you'll have to stream with me one day. Like, I'll at least have to, like, put you on Discord or something, and, like, we can just, like, chat. You don't have to physically be here if you don't want to be. God rest ye merry gentlemen? Oh, comfort and joy. What? Why? Why is it playing God rest ye merry gentlemen? Baskin-Robbins calls their employees flavorologists. That is interesting. I'm confused by this music. Comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. No, I don't like Christmas music. I don't want to be listening to it while I'm trying to talk. I'm just gonna be distracted. What? I'm not gonna roll with it. Royalty free. I don't care. All I can hear is God rest you merry gentlemen. Here we go. Okay, we went with folk, traditional, fantasy, medieval music, instrumental, no copyright. Epic music, no copyright. Let's hope it means it. Okay, that's from July of last year, but it should be alright. I specifically chose folk music background because it's something that both you and I enjoy. But I know you specifically like it, Ashley, so I'm going via your tastes. Although there is Viking music, which would also be very fun. Tavern music. Celtic fantasy music, that would be fun. But we'll stick with this. Okay, so Baskin-Robbins calls their employees flavorologists, which is interesting. Definitely an interesting choice. I know a lot of places nowadays calls all of their employees partners, as though that means anything, you know? Because I know at Starbucks, we're Starbucks partners. Like, we're not just baristas, we're partners. Which, I mean, yes and no. Like, I view my coworker, or viewed past tense, my now ex. I don't work there anymore. A month removed, still getting used to it. Yeah, definitely lip service. I considered my coworkers to be partners. Like, I considered them to be my partners. But that's because when there's only like 5 people, like between, 3 to 10 people, depending on what time of day, what shift you're working, when there's only a handful of coworkers there working with you, you tend to form a very close bond. Like, you learn each other's work styles, you learn how to work around each other, especially like all of the different roles that you do at Starbucks as a barista, whether you're working register, if you're working drive-through, if your store has a drive-through, if you're working bar, then there's like drive-through bar and there's cafe bar, mobile bar. If you're customer support, which literally is partner support, it literally just means the person that runs around and restocks things for people. Like whatever your role, you have to work together because it's all of you against everyone else. So yes, I felt very close to my coworkers, to my partners. I bring a certain, let's all just quiet energy to the workplace that it turns out bosses don't like. LMFAO. Yeah, but the fact remains the boss needs you. Yeah, because, like, without the baristas, there would be no Starbucks. Like, straight up, there would be no Starbucks. And if I post this on YouTube, this will be the end of my Starbucks career. I don't want to go back to Starbucks, but it is my safety net, and you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I worked at Starbucks for 2.5 years. 2.5 years of my life I spent with that company. And most of it was absolute brutal bullshit, and I hated every minute of it. First off, I don't like working for a big corporation. I'm working with a corporation again, unfortunately, because regardless of my wants and wishes, I do live in a capitalist society, so therefore must make money to live. So I still work for a corporation that works for a corporation that works for a corporation. But I also get to work from home, which is a lot nicer than what I was dealing with at Starbucks. Burn that bridge to the ground, yeah. Like, okay, it has its perks if you're heavily addicted to caffeine, and also love dealing with people's bullshit and drama and customers who are angry about nothing. Most of my customers were lovely. There are still several customers that I at this moment miss very dearly, some that were absolutely wonderful. But there are always going to be some that are absolute assholes, and that's just what's gonna happen. Maybe I could change the title to Darkly Roasting Starbucks. Anyway, sorry. Okay. The thing is, if you want to work in a glorified crack house, go for it. Yes, exactly. You are held slave to the company. They have leverage over you in that they are providing you a paycheck. They are offering you health benefits that are too expensive for what they're paying you. If you want anything decent, they give you free therapy, because if they didn't, they would have more baristas killing themselves. I apologize for that imagery, but it is the truth. Literally, they prey on queer, desperate, mentally ill, or what have you, people who are in need of an income, but then also have some of these other burnt, like all the Starbucks coffees, straight up, have, they literally target these particular groups of people. The impoverished, the minorities, it's the, I mean, I gave a brief trigger warning at the beginning simply because of the game that I was going to play, because I know that touches on some, but yeah, I'll probably put more warnings. This one might not be posted on YouTube. Straight, like, but I'll put some warnings in the description. It probably will. I'm gonna keep saying I might not post this, but I probably will. Especially since I got some nice music in the background. It's not that bad. Even though I'm like a rambling mess and I'm going to change the subject every 5 minutes, and I've got ADOS, attention deficit, ooh shiny. Do I have ADHD? I'm not sure, but if I do, it'd be the inattentive one. Then I have to figure out how to video edit. That's a full-time job. Listen, right now I've got the easy route in which I can just like straight up just copy and drag it in and just let it load itself, and I don't have to do any effort into actually fixing up the videos because I don't know how to. But yeah, I guess I'll learn how to. Probably. I'll just chop out. I'm talking through everything, so it's like I can't just chop pieces out, but we'll see. I've gotten pretty good at video editing with TikTok, so maybe I could try and do it with a longer video. Not looking forward to that. But yeah, okay, back to Starbucks targeting specific people based on their class, their mental capacity, and various other things. They're literally targeting these people, and then they work them to the bone. I'm one of them. As a queer, non-binary, autistic, like, yeah, basically I was desperate for a job and I needed to, so I know I need to learn how to video edit. Give me a break. I wanted to be a YouTuber first and foremost. I wanted to be a YouTuber, but I also didn't want to talk to myself all day long and have to figure out how to video edit. I used to like video editing back when it was with like Windows Movie Maker, which isn't really video editing. I'm gonna take a... Hello? Cat intermission? Cat intermission! Because I don't trust you with an open bottle. Oh, behind the sword. Okay, apologies, I'm all over the place. Hades said hydrate. Hades said stop hydrating. I was trying to take a sip and he stopped me from doing it. Yeah, Starbucks chews people up, spits them out, convincing them it was a privilege that they fucking did it. Yeah, they tell you that you're only worth anything if you're working for... Starbucks is a fucking cult. Full stop. Starbucks is a cult. They brainwash you. They lure you in with the fucking coffee and free therapy and Spotify and all of this stuff. They lure you in with this stuff. It is a cult. They brainwash you into believing that Starbucks is the way of things. I mean, I guess that could be said with any corporation, but like I have personally experienced it here with Starbucks, and it's upsetting. They make you feel as though you are needed there at Starbucks. You are needed. Like, the store cannot function without you. Like, if you are even remotely good at your job, if anybody even slightly relies on your ability, if you show any sign that you are good or okay at your job, they will squeeze every single ounce of capability that you have. They will drain you of all energy. They will make you think that you are the most important person there, like you have to be there or the store cannot function. So therefore you think that you have to be there constantly, otherwise the store isn't going to be able to function. So you're never calling out, you're never going on vacation. You try and put in time out and they're like, oh, we can't do that, we need you here. And you believe them. Because, like, what reason do you have to think that you are being lied to by your bosses and your coworkers and your superiors and your bigwigs and all of that? We're partners, of course, so we're needed. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the first one who said that. It's just donuts and Waffle House suck, but they don't make any pretenses that you're an integral part of the company or that you're part of a community. Yeah, I don't want to throw any shade at my new job, but I've been experiencing a bit of that. We're all family here. And like, it's like, that's all well and good. I found a few... Oh yeah, it was definitely glaringly obvious during the pandemic. That's when shit hit the fan. I keep reminding myself I don't have to censor my swears. I've had to use the phrase hickety heck a lot recently, and instead of actually swearing, because, you know, I'm on mic a lot. This is my work headset, by the way. Like, I use a gaming headset for work. This is how I take calls for my customer support role, or customer service role. Technically, it's customer support. Like, I went from one place where I was best at customer support to now I'm doing another job where I'm still good at customer support. I'm just learning all of the ins and outs of it still. I'm enjoying it, but like, I'm not gonna say anything about it, you know? I like the people that I have in my group, so yeah. So watch out and be ready to advocate for yourself. Don't let Starbucks. If you work anywhere, like, regardless of where you work, but like especially if you're working at Starbucks, because that's like what we're actually talking about. But like regardless of where you work, just, you know, make sure that you're prioritizing yourself first over work. Like, you're more important. Like, straight up, you're more important than the work, than the job. Like, I know that, like, I've been at times where it's like, listen, if I don't work every day this week, I'm not going to be able to eat this month. So I understand, but at the same time, like, you're not gonna be able to continue working if you, like, hurt yourself in one way or another, you know? If you get, like, hurt, or if you have a breakdown or something like that, because you gotta take care of yourself. No job is worth your mental health. No job is worth your soul. And as soon as a job starts feeling like it's taking over your soul, that's when it's time to run. Full stop. Run. Yeah, don't let anyone guilt you into running yourself into the fucking ground for their company. Yep. Because, especially with a corporation like Starbucks, a single barista is a drop in the bucket. Like, they'll replace you and not even care. So, it sucks. It sucks, especially since, like, I really liked working there, because I had convinced myself I really liked working there. But I liked some of the people I worked with. And there were a lot of them that were kind of like, eh. And then there were some that I absolutely hated working with. Just... Honey, I more than liked you. I kept you. I have my handful of people that I kept from that store, and like, I'm going to steal them away from that store eventually. You managed to get out first, so thank you for opening the door. But yeah. Because, like, I have you, I have, you know, our mutual... I don't know if everybody wants me saying their names. See, I technically didn't ask you if you wanted your name here, but considering that your your username is your name. I'm like, But, you know, I've got my handful of people. You know most of them. I'm wearing my Slytherin shirt today. Yes, Jimothy, definitely. The other of my nearest and dearest and closest and hostess. My closest and mostest. So okay. It is really soft. I like heather, like the heathery look on things, but yeah, it is very soft. Most of my t-shirts are very soft. I belatedly realized I was wearing this shirt, which is funny because we're talking about like various human rights activism. So of course, I need to talk about Harry Potter a little bit, just a little bit. I'm not gonna, well, not Harry Potter itself, but more of its creator, J.K. Rowling, who is a TERF who excludes and tries to define out trans people out of existence, which is not okay. So like, me wearing this shirt isn't me saying that I support J.K. Rowling, because I absolutely do not. And I will not be partaking in any more things from her and so on and so forth. But that being said, I do still love the Harry Potter universe and the Harry Potter world. I'm just going to be pirating the movies from now on. She doesn't get any sense from me, and I'm not going to be buying any of her books except secondhand. And that's just how that's going to be. On the real, I don't regret my time at Starbucks. I met some amazing people, you of course, first and foremost, and I learned how to spot bullshit a little bit closer to immediately. So there's that at least. Yeah, like, I don't regret I don't regret my tenure at Starbucks. I was there 2.5 years, maybe a bit longer than I probably should have, but I was there. I'm not going to say, you know, I was there for a reason or anything like that, but no, like, straight up. Oh yeah, the anti-Semitism. I mean, just in general, like, she's got some messed up views and things. Anyway, I'm moving away from that. I was addressing the fact that I am wearing a Slytherin shirt because hashtag Slytherin. Yeah, so I still partake in the world while not celebrating its creator anymore. I mean, like, straight up, I celebrate the world that I live in without partaking in whatever goings-ons of the creator of this world, whomever or whatever or however that may be. Moving on. Yeah, no, I don't regret working at Starbucks. I regret I didn't let them. I regret that I wasn't capable of seeing what was happening from the beginning. But I don't blame myself for that, as I had not learned it yet. Yeah. I noticed that there was only one black person in pretty much all of the Harry Potter movies. Like, it was just Dean Thomas. It's like, excuse me, you realize that the she included, yeah, stereotypes, and that's the least to say. Yeah, okay. we have settled on the fact that she has a lot of issues, and I don't like her, and I don't support her, and I don't celebrate her, and I will actively educate people against the views that she is stating, because I have educated myself against the views that she has and is trying to enforce onto others. Yeah, no. So I like the world that the readers created. Yeah. Because after she released it, it wasn't hers anymore, it was everyone else's. And everyone else still says that it is open to everyone, regardless of what she says. But yeah, no, I don't regret my time at Starbucks. I really enjoyed... I learned a lot of things from Starbucks, good and bad. I have met a lot of wonderful and not wonderful people, which is important. It was like I started at Starbucks at a very tumultuous time in my life, to put it mildly. I don't know how much detail I should go into that. I know I'm a persistent oversharer, so perhaps I should hold some back. Yes, but I wasn't fully aware of the fact that that was why. Like, it took me a while to realize that I do take things at face value. So when a company says we have your best interests at heart, I believed, past tense, believed them. It took me a while to understand differently by looking more closely at myself. Near the end of my tenure, someone asked me what I meant when I said that Starbucks isn't autistic friendly. Doesn't mean it wasn't happening. Yeah, oh no, I know it was happening. I just, wasn't aware of it yet. It was happening from the very beginning, but... So... Yeah, I know. Now I'm aware that it happens, so I will hopefully be able to spot it a bit easier. And that being said, like, it's not something that I necessarily want to turn off. Like, I don't want to stop. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say. Like, I don't want to, I'm not going to stop being autistic. Like, first off, like, that's not something. That's not something. Like, that doesn't happen. And in fact, after, like, we've talked a bit about this, Ashley, after embracing the fact that, oh yeah, no, I'm autistic, and here's what that means, and here's how it relates to me specifically, to my journey, to my life and my understanding of the world and myself, as I have come and coming to I'm gonna stop saying that word. As I have begun to understand more of how that relates to myself, I find myself being... I talk about how Starbucks isn't autism friendly. Someone who's had her fair share of meltdowns working there, lived here. I will return back to that. Thank you for the reminder of where I should be focusing my attention. This ties into that as well. It's been over the past couple of years that I've really, especially this past year, is when it really started to click that, oh yeah, no, I am autistic, and some of the things that I have gotten used, I had gotten used to, was actively uncomfortable. It was damaging to my psyche. Like, masking long term, especially, like, I would still mask even when I was alone at home, because, like, I wasn't just trying to pretend to be normal, I was trying to be normal to everyone else and to myself. So it wasn't until I realized that that was what I was doing, and then I tried to, like, stop doing that as much and let myself just be who I wanted to be, who I needed to be, like, express myself the way I needed. Like, I became more autistic. No, I started showing my autistic traits that have been there all this time, but I had been hiding them, and through great energy expense, I was hiding a lot of myself away from myself. So it wasn't until just, especially this past year, where I really let myself just be myself. I was allowing myself to stim. I was like allowing myself to just like learn the things that I wanted to learn and to tell people and be like, oh yeah, no, I know that is info dumping now. Like, oh, I know that this is a special interest now. Like, I realized these things that I had done, but then see how it's increasing more and more as I bring down those walls a lot, like release myself out of these boxes that I have built for myself because society told me to build them. Society. We'll leave it vague. But yeah. So that ties in with, excuse my creaky chair, I have WD-40, I took the thing apart, I sprayed all of the things, I put it all back together again and tightened it, but it still freaking squeaks. Anyway, so that plays into a lot about like how I've noticed just how non-autist friendly Starbucks is. And not just in the regards that, you know, Starbucks has like working there. There's a lot of smells. There's like the smell of the coffee brewing, there's the smell of all of the syrups, there's the smell of the mochas and the smell of the steaming milks and all that. So there's a lot of smells. Like, I mean, I'm very attuned to a lot of my senses. Like, I have hypersensitivity for most of my senses. Like, I'm able to taste things, smell things, see things, hear things. Like, I'm very hypersensitive to pretty much all of my senses, so I use my senses to navigate the world slightly more than the average person, whatever that means, would, simply because of that aspect. So, at working at Starbucks, I used my sniffer quite often to be like, oh, I wonder, like I step into the bar to take over making a drink, and I'm like, oh, it's a peppermint mocha. Did they put peppermint in it? Because I can obviously see the mocha, but it's like, oh, did they put peppermint in it? Yes, they did. It smells like peppermint. Yes, they did. Okay. And the same thing, like I could tell when somebody put toffee nut syrup in a drink instead of hazelnut syrup, and it's like, whew, you might want to fix that. So it's a very smelly job. That's one. It's a very loud job. There's a lot going on in the ear holes. Like, first off, there's the music, then there's the talking of the customers, the talking of the baristas, there's the blenders, there's the espresso machines, there's the grinder, there's a lot of sounds. You'll notice that there is a theme. There is just a lot of there's a lot of senses when you're working at Starbucks, because it is a very noisy, it is a very involved, it's food and bev, so you know. Oh my god. I used to shout warnings. Like, I didn't tell people, hey, do this or don't do this. Sometimes I would ask them, like, specifically, do you want, you know, my trigger? My trigger when it came to Starbucks, like the one thing that's like, if you do this thing, I hated the headset, but my biggest trigger in that if somebody did this thing, it was going to ruin my entire day at Starbucks, or at least the next 2 hours. I was just going to be shut off. It's like, I'm not going to function for the next 2 hours minimum. My trigger was the nitro keg. Pulling the pin on the nitro keg. Like, first off, don't do that on the floor. Go to the back. Like, no, you don't do that on the bar. You do that in the back. Second off, please, 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 like, give a warning if you're going to do it. Give a warning. Oh my gosh, the fingers, like, it's so bad, the fingers. Okay, but like the nitro keg was my thing. So what it is, like for anybody who hasn't ever worked at Starbucks or doesn't know what a nitro keg is, it's this big metal cylinder that's pressurized. It has cold brew in it and such, and it's pressurized. So like you pull this release pin to release the pressure, and it makes this big noise, right? But like if you don't give me a warning, I will shout and jump and tense up. My shoulders come all the way up to my ears. Like I'm trying to protect my senses. Like, and this is like, I'm going to be functioning like this from now on. Like I'm going to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame because you freaking pulled that pin without warning me. And the reason why, like there is technically a rule, but since this store is still, sorry. Let me not go into too much detail about certain things. I don't want people to know where I live. Okay, so a lot of the people there are still new at how to use the nitro stuff. It's still newer at that particular store. So a lot of people don't know the etiquette and the rules behind it, whereas the store that I originally started at was had it for a very long time, so they already knew all of the rules and like the etiquette, which is never pull the pin on the floor, never pull the pin while you have it in the main room where, you know, behind the bar, because you will scare people. It is a very loud noise. It's not something that you want a lot. I remember you mentioning that. You always warned me if you were about to do it. Yeah, see, when I want somebody to do something, I do it as well. So it's like I would always shout a warning, pulling pin, or I would say loud noise. I would give warning before I steamed heavy cream or eggnog. Oh god, eggnog. Because those are like really loud. It makes a really loud kind of noise. I'm just gonna be making a lot of noises. So that one's like a really loud screech sound. So I would give warning. I would be like, loud noise, or here comes a loud one, before I start steaming it. So that way everyone can kind of prepare it. Because like, I'm going to shout it, so that way everybody's like, noise, what? And then the loud noise comes. So that way nobody is going to be startled by the very loud noise, because it always startled me. And I don't like being startled, but especially by loud noises, because my ears are sensitive. Well, there are two big things that I don't like being startled by. I don't like being startled by loud noises, and I don't like being startled by touch. And I know you mentioned this, but the sheer level of masking that is required of you every second that you're there is fucking relentless. Relentless eye contact, relentless smiling, the relentless pretense that you care about people you don't even know and are invested in their lives because, you know, the third place. Yes. I'll be honest, I stopped holding eye contact with people probably after the first couple of months. Well, I mean, like, I started up again when I switched to a different store, but most of the time, like, I almost never look anybody directly in the eye, or at least not for long periods of time. Sometimes I can do it. Like, it's not that I can't, it's that I don't like to. Like, just in general. Usually I'm looking, like, I love when people wear glasses because I'm usually looking at the frames of their glasses. If they've got like really nice eye makeup or something, if they've got like wings that are on point, I'll be staring at their wings, you know? I'll be looking at the color of their eyelids, you know? I'll be looking at their eyelashes or something like that. So I'm looking near the eye because, you know, I'm trying to be, you know? But I'm usually never actually looking them dead straight on into the pupil. Or at least not for very long. Usually it's like, if they don't have glasses or anything particularly interesting around their eyes, I'll just be staring at the corner of their eye. Corner of their eye, right between their eyebrows, the edge of their eyebrow, you know. So, it's just what it is. I'm usually pretty good with, okay, my customer service voice, of course, is a lot different than me. Like, this is my pretty normal talking voice. I'm not, like, putting on a show or anything. I'm not particularly masking, other than I'm trying to I'm not masking, but I am trying to hold still because like I have a box that I have to stay in right here. So I'm trying to hold still, and I'm trying not to get too animated and all of that. I'm also trying not to move around too much because my chair makes noise. So I'm not masking, but I am trying to contain a lot of my movements and such. That being said, yeah, no, yeah. So it was always, thank you for coming to Starbucks. What can I get for you? You know, that happy puppy, happy puppy. We're gonna get a little sing-songy in there too, so that way we can get some like pep in our step and all that stuff. What can I get started for ya? And like I still do a little bit of that. My new customer service voice, like there's a little bit of an overlap there. My new customer service voice is a lot more, you know, oh, thank you so much for calling. How can I help you today? Where it's that more empathetic, like understanding. I'm going to be in control of the situation and help you, but also be very understanding of what you're going through right now. Whereas, like, yeah, it's a nightmare for anyone with executive dysfunction. See, okay, that didn't affect me very much simply because I somehow accidentally made Starbucks my special interest. So, I had the deep-seated need to make sure that everything got done correctly while I was there. Oh, it affected me big time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, but back to why Starbucks wasn't very autism friendly. Yeah, no, you got to be very social. There's a lot of assault on the senses. I myself am a sensory avoider. I don't know if you know about that with yourself yet, Ashley, whether you're a sensory avoider or sensory seeker. I personally think that you're probably a sensory seeker, but I'm not sure, and that's up to you to figure that out. I myself, funny enough, well, I guess it shouldn't be that surprising, but it's a little bit surprising. I'm a sensory avoider, which means that I try to avoid Excuse you? What? You have food? What? I'm trying to talk. Either come here and talk to me or stop shouting from the other side of the room, sir. Having to keep track of every task I was supposed to do somehow simultaneously within a window of fucking seconds within any given position is exhausting, to say the least. I'm fairly certain I'm a sensory seeker as well. That would definitely explain why I favor the psychedelic experience. Yeah, I prefer things within my control. I like my certain things. I like to branch out occasionally, but I have to be prepared for it. Yeah. So, like, I like my certain smells, my certain tastes, my certain textures, and anything else I try and avoid. Yeah. So, I did have a lot of issues in regards to Starbucks in that regards. Simply because it was a lot of sensory input pretty much constantly, which became very exhausting, even more so once I stopped masking as much. So I wasn't exhausted from masking, but suddenly I was exhausted from still having to put up with all of that. So my tolerance levels dropped a lot, and suddenly I began to realize that I was still suffering a lot of sensory, or a lot of autistic meltdowns, and usually caused by sensory overload. But I didn't realize that it was autistic meltdowns because I was bottling it up so completely that I basically turned off all of my emotions and such. So instead of having autistic meltdowns, I was having autistic shutdowns because I had learned that that was more socially acceptable, that that was safer than having meltdowns. Because if I'm throwing a tantrum or having a panic attack, I'm vulnerable. Whereas if I just turn off all of my emotions, stop responding to everything, stop paying attention to anything that's going on around me, and just focus on what I'm supposed to be doing until I can get to a safe place and either sleep or cry. Usually sleep at that point. It depended how long I had to stay like that. But it was like this survival instinct where I had to learn this, unfortunately. So I would just turn everything off. Yeah, my days off weren't ever even days off. It would take days to recover from the work week. Straight up, dude, 100. Like, that's why I loved working with... Yeah. Yeah. Like, I had my ups and downs. Like, I'm particularly good about controlling my sensory overloads or like toning it down. Like, I was really good at like using my breaks, my like 10-minute breaks or my lunch break or whatever. I was really good at using those. I would like pop in my earbuds, turn specific music up very loud, like specific songs that I already knew that I liked. So seeking that sensory input to overshadow all of the sensory overload that was happening. And I could just focus on that. I would take my glasses off, I would close my eyes or usually cover my eyes, cover my ears, so that way I was just listening to this and I would just hold still. Sometimes I would rock, but I would just be like, I'm going to stop existing for a little while. So that way I can make sure that I'll be okay to go back to work, which... What? That's not okay. That sucks. Yeah. See, I'm sad that I didn't get to work with the both of you as often. It sucks that I switched to nights just as you left. It's not fair. But yeah, no, it is what it is, you know? See, but like, I was mentioning this before to you. Now that I work from home, I'm more prone to melting down as opposed to shutting down. Which, to be fair, meltdowns, as long as they aren't, you know, violent or dangerous or anything like that, are actually more healthy than shutdowns. Because shutting down, you're just bottling all of this up and it just sits there and it festers until I sleep it off or whatever, you know, and it's not as good. Whereas, you know, having a good cry every so often, especially, like, I get really frustrated because, like, I'm trying to understand this thing and I'm trying to ask a question, but I can't figure out how to how to conceptualize what information I'm gathering, what information I'm not understanding, how I'm going to put that into writing, type it out and try and get people's attention so that way I can get my questions answered and understand what's going on. And by the time that it happened, it already, you know... Yeah, shutdowns lead to burnout, yep. Yeah, I know. I've been there, done that, yeah. But that's why I was, you know, it's health, meltdowns are healthier. Like, it's part, I don't want to say, you know, it's part of being autistic, but it technically is, you know, like, as much as you want to try and, accommodate around your senses, sometimes sensory overload is going to happen, sometimes frustration is going to happen, sometimes you get so overwhelmed for one reason or another, you gotta let it out, you know? And so, yeah. So now that I work from home, I am a lot more prone to just having a quick mini meltdown instead of shutting down. Like, I don't have to bottle everything up and pretend like everything is okay. because I could just let it out and then things can be okay. Like, it's much easier to actually be okay than it is to pretend that you're okay, you know? It just takes a little bit to get there. But once you get there, it's a lot easier. Like, believe me, a lot easier. Like, I'm feeling great. Like, I'm doing really good now that I understand my needs and all of that. So, like, I have a job now where I sit for most of my... So, like, I'm, like, always, like, sitting strange in my seat, and my seat's rocking in places, and, like, I've got my, sensory toys. I have a couple of puzzle games that I can play while I am still listening, still paying attention to what's going on, but also like getting some sensory input that I prefer, like just fidgeting or stimming or what have you. I'm just existing, and I'm feeling good about existing. Because fuck anybody who says that I shouldn't be existing. Ha ha ha. What are you going to do about it? Poison my water? Ha! It's lemonade. You want some lemonade? Yeah, I know you don't want lemonade. You don't like lemonade. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Like, watch. Cat inbox. Cat inbox. Yep. Aw, thank you, Ashley. Oh, he loves this box. He's in this box all the time. He's either in this box, in my lap, or screaming in the other room. He's also naked. He doesn't like wearing his collar. Lois has not taken hers off, but he keeps taking his off. And like, he just deposits it on the bed. And it's just there when I wake up. And I was like, oh, I guess he decided to strip naked again. Now he'll curl up in the box. I mean, yeah, that is a mood. I feel that. There we go. We have cat in box. This is the view now. This is what we're doing now. It's the just talking. Let's see. Yeah, shackle me. That's what I think of your fucking collar, human. No, but he's my good boy. He just doesn't like to be jingle jangled. He's like, you shall not. You shall not. I will not wear a bell. I am keeper of the underworld. I will not wear jingly bell. Humbug. Yeah. Sometimes they just... What are you doing? He's about to fall out of this box. Like, the cat is melting. Deep. He seems to do this every time I'm paying too much attention to the computer. He's like, my turn! Okay, I've updated the stream title, so now it's Deep Dive into the Universe with a cat in a box. Except he's no longer in the box! My stream title is a lie! Ow! Why you bite? I'm not gonna pet you now, you bit me! No, he's coming for me. He's coming for me. Hey, get off. Okay, so. Okay, cat and box has left now. I got no olive. Okay, anyway, back to our previous conversation. I forgot what we were talking about. We were talking about autism and being okay and how Starbucks sucks and, you know, the usual. Let me actually reconfigure my camera again. There we go. Much better. Ow. For some reason, it's just this ear. Like, normally this headset is very comfortable, but I've also been wearing it all day, so it is what it is, I suppose. I feel like we came to a decent close on that. I feel like that too. You know what? Did we miss a couple of topics on the way? Probably, but, you know, they'll work themselves out. Yeah, don't work at Starbucks. I mean, like, unless you're prepared for the bullshit, like, that's fine. Go in there knowing what's going to happen. Like, go in there fully informed. That's fine. You know, do it. Don't make it your life. Don't sell your soul. You aren't actually as needed there as they say that you are. Or you suspect you have, yeah. Don't work at Starbucks if you have ADHD, autism, sensory issues, or anxiety. Yeah, except that's like the main target of people that they attract because they give free therapy and free headspace or whatever, and like, you know. Yeah, go in with your eyes open, friends. Stay hydrated. Hey, everyone go get a drink of water. Ashley, take a sip of water. It's a drinking game now. We'll have to do that one day. That would be fun. Virtual drinking game? We could probably do that. I need to... I'll figure out my computer situation later. That's for another day. Well, take a sip now. I've been drinking it too. Take a sip now. Look, this was full when I started. It was okay. It was here when I started the stream, but it was here when I started drinking it. Hey, the bottle, it has my name on it. It has my name on it. What, like drinking? Since she's seeking ass, I'll drink you under. I know you would drink me under the table. I meant more of a let's, you know, play a game and then also drinking. Alright, so this stream went completely not the way I had imagined. So I have a few things that I have to fix up when it comes to my computer. which is fine. I'm getting tired of this thing, so it's fine. But I am probably going to leave it there. I feel like we did a pretty good wrap up of roasting Starbucks. Okay, I want to update this. Yeah, we'll see. Life so rarely does. This is very true, and honestly, I wouldn't want everything to go exactly how I planned. That would be terribly dull. And I got to enjoy a lovely just streaming, or just chatting stream that I had never imagined I would be doing, especially, there's your title right there. Yeah, okay, but, life so rarely does. But no, it has been lots of fun. I am going to debate as to whether I will be posting this on YouTube, simply because now it's technically broken up into 2 parts. But the first part was me talking about the game that I didn't play. So yeah, it's gonna be roasting Starbucks. Burning Starbucks like they burned their coffee. Two ex-baristas roast Starbucks. Because we don't plan on ever going back. Ever. Like, I left on good standing, but that doesn't mean I'm planning on coming back. I wanted to keep it as a just in case I desperately need it. Simply because it is a job that I know, but I don't even care. I'm the one who just came up with even better. Well, I mean, it's kind of what you said earlier anyway, so we just keep going back and forth as to whether we're going to be roasting or burning. Hi, Lois. I'm not supposed to be on the tower, mijita. Alright. We have to have a brief kitty intermission because we have a different kitty cat. She's so upset. Okay, there you go, baby girl. Alright, but it has been lots of fun. Thank you, Ashley, for joining me. I love having you here. It's nice that I'm not talking to myself, because, like, if I didn't have anybody here, I probably would have just given up on the stream today. So it was nice that we could have just a just chatting moment. So. But I am going to leave it here. Oh, yeah. Perfect timing, too. The 1 hour of fantasy, medieval music, instrumental, no copyright, epic music, no copyright, folk traditional has just finished. So this is actually the perfect timing in order to end things. So thank you again for being here, Ashley. So as a wrap up, if I am posting this on YouTube, which I probably will. You know what? I keep saying maybe I won't, but I will. I'll be posting it on YouTube. I just might edit it first. So you can, these are my socials down here where you can check me out. I am streaming here on Twitch. I try and stream every Wednesday evening. It's 7 o'clock my time. Look on my schedule on Twitch. It tells you what time, your time. Yeah. So I try and stream every week on Twitch. I post my stream archives here on YouTube. I am hoping that soon I'll get good at video editing and maybe I'll just do some stream highlights and that would be fun. So it's not 5-hour long videos and it's only just like 30-minute long videos would be nice. I occasionally post here on TikTok. Check me out for like fun cat videos or deep talking about autism and its effects on society and various other things. So check me out here on TikTok for a lot of cool things. You can follow me on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter. I post saying that I will be streaming, that I have a new YouTube video up, and occasionally 3 a.m. thoughts. So feel free to follow me at any of these socials. And until next time, thank you, and bye-bye. Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.